In some ways, I'm starting to feel whole again. The gameplay footage you're watching is from Halo 5's launch. So go back almost 10 years now, quite a few years. Halo 5 just released. I still liked it for a brief moment in time. And I'm playing with my buddy BBK Dragoon. What a throwback. What a throwback. And I'm specifically using this footage because I don't know that I ever used it before. And I just recovered it off an old external hard drive. I am someone who can easily be described as a bit of a data hoarder, but it's in response to some very bad data-related things that happened over the years. I was very irresponsible growing up with maintaining my digital files. I kept my pictures, but pretty much nothing else. And so the first 10 or 15 years of me on YouTube, I didn't really keep a whole lot, and anything that I did keep, I ended up losing at one point. In about 2016-ish, I had a major hard drive failure with the big, 4 or 8 terabyte RAID I had in my computer that I recorded all my videos to. It was only supposed to be recording drive, and it was the biggest drive I had, so I wound up storing stuff on it, and it started failing. And in my panic, I moved everything to external hard drives that I had elsewhere and started backing it up to Amazon's cloud drive service. They had just released it, and it had unlimited storage at the time, and so I was relying on it to house all my files so I could wipe everything and restructure my hard drives because they were failing and download it all back and get it going. Little did I know, Amazon did not keep any of the files I sent to them. 2 straight weeks of uploading files, terabytes of files that supposedly were up there, and then when I went to reacquire them, they didn't exist. Only the folders existed. And so I lost basically all of my video archives, my thumbnails, my project files, all of that. And that was devastating. Between deleting an entire YouTube channel back in 2011, those kinds of things, I've grown to become very precious about my data. Now, having done YouTube for a very, 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 very long time, I don't have the means of having a good offsite backup for the hundreds of terabytes of data I have, but I'm doing my best to maintain best practices otherwise. And I'm constantly wanting to reference or throw back older videos or whatever, and it absolutely breaks my heart when I go back to reference something, especially on a deleted channel or something where I can't even just go re-download it. And I just can't, because I lost it during this one specific part of time. And so I've been committed to trying to do better and to also get back what I can. I checked quite a few times before they shut down the service to see if Amazon Cloud Drive actually had my files anywhere, and I was just an idiot. They didn't. I've recently found some of my old external hard drives that I had from middle school, this one, the oldest would have been high school. That's when external hard drives really started becoming a thing. I've got an old USB 2 one, and then some of the ones that I used as my kind of offload temporary solution back in 2016 and 2017. I had some big hope at first as the data recovery programs saw many of the videos from 2010 and up that I had made. And I was over the moon. I was like, I might have a chance of getting, but no, they had already been overridden. And so even though it gave me the option of, recovering these videos, the files were corrupt. They had the file size, but best I can tell, they're just full of junk data. Those I could not recover, but I am slowly starting to recover from some other drives, some actual footage from 2015, 2016 and up. And that is what you're looking at right now. And it feels so freaking good to have any bit of this I can get back. Yes, I would love to have some of my old original videos, especially from that channel I deleted. And it is devastating to me that I can't. I did grow up during the phase of, I grew up as the internet became a thing, and the phrase that had taken over for a long time was that nothing gets deleted on the internet, and I kind of took that a little too literally, and then sucked when I couldn't recover things, especially when YouTube merged with Google and I couldn't recover my pre-Google account and blah, 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 blah. All that to say, it feels so good to have this footage back, to have these memories. I've got screenshots and videos from Destiny 1 PvP, which I spent so much time in with some of my buddies I still talk to this day. I've got this Halo footage. I don't know what else I'm putting after it, where I was playing with BBK. Really good memories there. I've got old tutorials. I've got a throwback, screen capture recording back when I still used Vegas to edit, which was a long time ago. All sorts of little stuff like that. And it feels like what everyone describes, and I have never had this situation, which I can explain in a moment. Like around the holidays, every year, there's a group of new creators, streamers, whatever, that go home to their parents' house or their grandparents' house or whatever and find their old stuff or their old Pokemon card collection in a binder or something in their parents' attic, whatever. I don't have that. My parents made sure I took everything with me, and they weren't particularly romantic about making sure I kept everything in the first place. I was very quickly encouraged not to hoard all my stuff. And so I've never had that experience of getting to like go home and recover the stuff I had as a child and then decide what to do with it as an adult or whatever. I am now at a point where I do get to experience that as an actual adult because I'm recovering these videos and I'm getting to relive some of these memories and to piece back together my scrapbook. These feelings also build off some like weather related trauma in that in 2009 we had a big flood that filled our basement with 6 feet of water. We had never had anything like that before, and we had a bunch of stuff that we stored specifically in the basement that absolutely got destroyed. Photo albums, heirlooms, my Xbox, my GameCube, my Nintendo 64, which was green, by the way. I've still never gotten that back. All that kind of stuff. So being able to recover the stuff and have the footage on hand, it's so nice. It's so hard to explain to someone who doesn't care. And even when I talk about like getting stuff put up on Internet Archive or whatever, there's plenty of people that are like, no, you've got to abandon the past. You got to move on. You got to do this, that, and the other. And there's no universal answer for everyone. But given my personal history, I will always advocate in favor of preservation, of keeping stuff when reasonable as much as possible, because what's old becomes new all the time. People love seeing all that old stuff, and it honestly breaks my heart whenever I can't reference like stuff from my childhood or teenager years that would help rebuild my own memory and sustain it, because that's how we sustain our memories. That's how we keep them from fading, and be able to share it with the next generation. The question that comes up as this is happening is, how do we preserve our memories? How do we preserve the feelings that we think matter when we can't preserve every moment of our life, every file that we create, every bit of data, every neuron, every emotion? How do we preserve that? Obviously, humanity has found many different solutions to this, from photography to record keeping to family videos to what I do to whatever. But like, how do we keep it alive in a way that prioritizes what really matters? I think ultimately that is the question, is how do we prioritize? And I'm not sure anyone really has the answer. When I made a series a year or so back for Nebula called Print Screen, I got to talk to one of the big faces of the Internet Archive and discuss, you know, the efforts he has to go through to sort through the hordes of data and physical media that people give to the Internet Archive and expect to be archived. And one of the things he brought up was like, you know, some old dead dude's collection where he recorded the TV guide every day, every year, whatever. And it's like, yeah, that was really cool that he did that, but is there any value in it? Yet at the same time, there's someone else who like preserved this collection of fishing magazines for like 3 decades, stuff that was never online, and kept it in good condition. And that probably has value because people are looking for that. But at what point do you discern that it has value? And the same thing with more personal stuff. Like, the things that matter to you personally may not matter on a grander scale to the rest of the world. And how do we decide what is most important to keep? Because frankly, of all the things that I wanted to recover from these hard drives, and again, I am nowhere near done with this project. I'm hoping there's some hidden gems in there, but I am nowhere near done. But of all things that I would have hoped for, if you asked what I was looking forward to, or what I was primarily seeking out when I was looking through the files that it said it could recover and whatever, a random gameplay feed from 2015 of Halo 5 with BBK from the launch time, where I did all right in a CTF match, it would not have been what came to mind. It wasn't on the list. It wasn't even in consideration. And yet, and the same thing with the Destiny clips. Like, I got a whole bunch of Destiny footage that I recovered. Like, Destiny would have never just come up. And that's a weird thing, because the moment that it did, despite the fact that it wasn't what I was hoping for, being given it, I was elated. I was over the moon. I was sent back to these memories and able to relive them and able to share the gameplay here with you, where I'm pretty sure it's never been published. And like, ultimately, I think I am someone, especially me, especially as someone who's taught YouTube, who has recorded games as a core part of his life for over half of his life. As someone, I literally proposed to my wife in a Minecraft game. Like, I definitely place higher value on gameplay footage than probably anyone else in the world. It's kind of been my thing. So obviously I'm unique and not everyone can share that perspective. But like, I would not have considered that important. And yet going back to it and being able to revisit these memories for a bit, especially for stuff that isn't available on YouTube. And that is something I'm thinking about a lot, is that YouTube channels do go away. Videos get taken down. My old gaming channel, that was like my main gaming channel focus, besides the one that I obviously deleted, a bunch of those videos, just random Let's Play episodes and whatever, got taken down by false claims. I was like attacked with a bunch of false claims at one point, and I can never get those videos back. Like, I'm thinking more and more about like, how do I prioritize what I want to preserve? Because it does apparently mean a lot for me to go back and see these. So those are just the questions I'm asking at this point, I guess. That's what's on my mind today. I'm Addy. This has been Liminal Musings. Little old musings. I don't know. I'm still in the process of recovering. I'm only on like hard drive 3 of like 6. And this one's going to take a whole nother 2 days of just copying the files off of the, archive software onto my server. So it's going to be a while. But I'm very stoked to highlight some old stuff, to feature some gameplay that is pretty good, that honestly I never got to use. And that's one of the things I do. Like, I always record stuff when I play games so that I can use the footage, and then it feels really frustrating to like not have used it at some point. So hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Go check out the last episode where I talk about the genres of YouTube videos, and I actually ended up releasing my paper for that on Internet Archive and on my Stream Guide site. So links to those are in that description. And remember to be kind, rewind. Share if you have any similar stories of recovering files, losing files, or generally recovering lost memories. Or lost saves, as it were. Yeah! In the comments. See ya!